Welcome to the Amateur Football Podcast. Myself, Tabrice, and I'm not going to call him a special guest. You guys know, there's like no more special guests on this show now. Everyone that you see are pillars of the community. And again, I want to give a big shout out to one of the most influential people in football, Jamal Horn. How you doing, sir?
Not bad, not bad. How's it going?
Good, good, good. I've really enjoyed my bank holiday weekend. I've been burning the candle at both ends. So yeah. I'm actually ready to hopefully rest tomorrow at work.
Ah,
Actually, how was your bank holiday weekend?
yeah. I mean, in this business, you have to sacrifice your weekends. So I don't get many weekends that are off. So yeah, this weekend is pretty much a weekend off, ish. Meaning I don't have to go anywhere. Starts to be on call, starts to deal with any sort of issues. But other than that, yeah, it's been pretty relaxing. And then next weekend, straight back to it. Four cup finals next weekend. One of which is the Veterans Cup final.
So, charcoal versus ground hoppers in the Vex Cup final. Yeah, I would kind of love for you to kind of talk about both teams.
Well, hey, we are where we are. It's been really interesting. One, you're looking at charcoal, the third straight London Cup final, which is just ridiculous considering the amount of competition is in this cup. So for them, obviously, they're perennial winners. They're going to want to win, but in reality, it's already an achievement going to back to back to back London Cup finals. So I mean, what an achievement from them. All of them should really be proud of themselves. The interesting part was, the Vets Cup has kind of become a bit like UFC or boxing, because you've had West Fulham beat Charcoal, then you have Charcoal beat West Fulham, and you can always get that sort of get that feeling where it's like, oof, everyone's waiting for round three, and you go through the rounds. West Fulham win, Charcoal win, West Fulham win, and you're like, oop, here we go. They're on a collision course for round three, and then the FC Shepherd's Bush match happens, and then it's no different than how it is in any sport. You're expecting the two giants to meet each other again, and a team knocks out one of the giants. So then that instantly makes that team the favorite. So FC Shepherd's Bush, knock out West Fulham. Then everyone's like, well, West Fulham are a fantastic side. FC Shepherd's Bush has beat them, so obviously now they're the favorite. And Groundhoppers comes in and tears up the script again and knock out Shepherd's Bush 4-1. So now, we have this sort of all southeast derby between the charcoal and groundhoppers. So yeah, it's gonna be really interesting. Groundhoppers have um, a pretty strong club history. A lot of people get things confused between a club and a team. Groundhoppers are a club. They have multiple teams. One of their teams got to one of the London Open Age Cups in 2019. So it's a club that clearly has a winning mentality, a progressive mentality, and now the veterans have got to the cup final against Charcoal, and it's going to be really interesting. Looking forward to it very much.
I mean, I don't. Well, I didn't really see groundhoppers at all, and it wasn't probably until the quarterfinals. I'm like, okay, there's a team I've not really heard of, and actually when I've looked them up in the league, and again, I don't want to disrespect the third division, but they are sitting mid-table in the third division, and I'm thinking, wow, well, they must have some sort of secret weapon or weapons that are kind of unknown to a lot of teams. I mean, again, they like have to be the surprise package, right?
I mean, grassroots football can be frustrating because this isn't the EFL. This isn't the Premier League. This isn't the professional football pyramid, where if a team are in League One, they're in League One for a reason. Um, too good for League Two, not quite yet for the Championship, whatever. It doesn't work that way in grassroots football. If you've got a new team, or sometimes you can't start in the division you belong in, then the most important aspect of running a team is player recruitment. So maybe they have access to some elite level players, but they can't get them on a weekly basis. But they
Mhm.
can get them for cup matches or specific league matches. So on a weekly basis, maybe they're a Division Three quality team, but on the given day, in regards to their playing squad, they have the ability to put out a London Cup winning or London Cup contending side. So that's probably the situation that Groundhoppers are probably in. I don't know. I am speculating, but
Mhm.
league tables can only tell part of a story in grassroots football. It's not like professional football that can tell you sort of an indicative story. It doesn't work that way at grassroots.
Mm. And regarding charcoal, well, if you're if you're familiar with vets football, then you should be familiar with charcoal. They are second right now in Div One with a few games in hand. But I mean, again, is there anything that we can't say? Well, I mean, we've like covered charcoal so much. I don't know what else we can say.
Yeah, it's just up to them. I mean, all I know is I don't know how they feel about not playing West Fulham. I don't know if that score is sort of settled for them. I don't know if it's like, oh no, they wanted to play them again to beat them again or to have more wins over them in final. I don't know. I don't know if it's a final's a final. They don't care who they play, but you only get to achieve but so much in life. It doesn't matter if it's on or off the pitch. And the Charcoal have a lot of accomplished players with all kinds of sort of National League and EFL caps and whatever. But that's all in the past. They've got to be thinking, wait a second, we've got the opportunity here to really be one of the best London Cup teams of all time, and they got to push for it. But history or in the past, all that's irrelevant. It really doesn't matter. They're going to come up on Saturday and they're going to want to win, and they're going to want to win. They're going to be on time. They're going to warm up. They're gonna really put the effort in. So it's all gonna be down to groundhoppers. I would expect the same from them, and then after that, it's all about the green bit. What's
Mm,
gonna happen? It's the same. It's the same old, same old.
mm,
Who a lot of these games are gonna be won in the dugout. One, from the substitutes, and two, what adjustments are the managers gonna make at halftime and in the second half. You know.
yeah. I think charcoal's biggest, well, not weakness, but probably biggest enemy right now in like this game is complacency. They like probably would have looked at you know ground like hoppers, and I'm gonna assume that they don't know too much about the team apart from their league position in League Three. So yeah, I think complacency is probably going to be the biggest enemy for like charcoal. They exactly what you said. They've got to turn up and do like everything professionally, and literally play the game rather than the occasion. I think for ground hoppers, um, I will openly admit I do not know anything about this team, but for them to get to a final, um, you know, they, you know, they like must have, talented uh, you know, um, players that know how to win games, to see out games, and for them to get to this final, yeah, they are definitely going to be up for it.
Yeah, I think cup football's cup football, man. You can't really win 4 or 5 matches in a row by luck. You know, you could uh, you can be quite lucky with the draw, and feel lucky. You've avoided LSU or Independent or Sporting Kits or whatever. But bottom line is you still got to win those matches. And if you start a striker, if your keeper's injured, your manager can't make it. Doesn't matter. You still got to play. You got to compete. So I just think West Fulham and Charcoal have dominated this competition the past few seasons, and once Shepherd's Bush knocked out West Fulham, everyone had eyes on them, and then Groundhoppers knocked them out, and it's like, oh wow, just back to back surprises on that side of the draw. And now I think You know, if charcoal going to underestimate groundhoppers, I mean, boy, based on groundhoppers results, you know, there aren't really one to underestimate. But you shouldn't be underestimating your opponent, period, especially in the cup final. But yeah, I'd be surprised if charcoal did that. If I was groundhoppers, I need charcoal going into this game. Overconfident, lackadaisical, thinking that they've won the match just by turning up, and then you know that's how I would want charcoal to enter the match if I was groundhoppers. You know, because if charcoal arrive on time and you know 20, 30 minutes before kickoff, the music's off, everyone's changed and looking focused on the pitch. You know, that's when they're an incredibly difficult side to beat.
Yeah. So regarding this season's cup competition, what have you learned from everything that's gone on?
I think, listen, Vets football is so unique. For those of you who tuned in when myself and Andy from West Fulham had our sort of back and forth, you know, it's just, you know, even the way he sort of conducted himself that evening, it's just so indicative of how serious people take the football, man. You know, really, it really isn't a joke, and the expectations they have, even from how things are on the pitch to the administration to the match officials. You know, not that what I'm saying is a surprise, but you know, football really isn't a joke at this level. Similar to those who tuned in the episode before that one with me and members from Independent, you know, taking things very, very seriously, man. People take their football very, very seriously, especially at vets. The expectations, how people want things done. And even though I'm always under pressure in those sort of shows because people have high expectations of me and expect things from me, in the end, as difficult and as pressurized and frustrating that can be for me sometimes, deep down it's beautiful because you know people like that are only hard on me because they take it very very seriously. So it's just a reminder to everyone who works with me, anyone who ever even dreams of being in a role like me, you know, buckle up because you're going to be working to serve people who take their football very seriously, especially vets football.
Hmm. And I don't know if you can talk about what's going to be happening next season in the competition, but you know, what are your plans to expand the game, especially in in the vet side?
Well, I'm going to do what I usually do. I'm really going to go out to several clubs and see exactly what they want from a customer service angle. What I don't want to do is sort of get in that sort of normal position, let everyone recharge their batteries, take some time away from football, and then expect when August comes, when everyone starts to get that hunger back, just expect everyone to just re-enter the competition and hey, everyone, let's just do it again, just in case there is anything in particular that needs to be improved on. Definitely go out to some people, and Andy touched on that in the last episode when it's sort of like you know how early round dates are given, how early can fixtures be confirmed, how early can referees be appointed, so on and so forth, just so we keep the competition running as smoothly as possible. But in the end, with people taking vets so much more seriously, all those young men who are you know 34 on the cusp of turning 35 and itching to go straight into vets football, or those young pros, those elder pros, elder semi-professionals who are thinking, I'm not going to play Sunday league, I'm going to go straight into vets. Just know that there is a warm and competitive London Cup competition that will be restarting with the same standards for next season.
Cool. And I don't think we've like mentioned where the final is and kick off anything else. Yeah,
Yeah,
where
so
the
we got
final and
the Charcoal versus Groundhoppers 2020, 22, 23 London Veterans Cup final this Saturday, half through kickoff at Sporting Club Thamesmead, SE 28 8NJ. So Sporting Club Thamesmead will be hosting as of now, just in case there's any changes. But as of now, yeah, Sporting Club Thamesmead will be hosting this season's London Veterans Cup final between the Charcoal and Groundhoppers Vets.
Cool. And again, watch out for more information on the Amateur Football Podcast, proudly sponsoring the London FA Vets Cup. Jamal Horn, it's always a pleasure speaking to you. And yeah, I kind of look forward to many more conversations on and offline. And yeah, I wish you well.
Many, many more. You and I have some very, very powerful narratives to cover on this show that I will definitely intend on covering. Listen, for those of you, I have some things I want to say. You may want to tune into those episodes.
Thank you to everyone that's been watching. Please like and subscribe, and like also as well, go onto Instagram. You will find Jamal Horn. Again, one of I'd say the more ready, available, and the more visible officials in the game. Yes, you know, people may like have their opinions about some of the officials and even Jamal himself, but you know, again, he is not afraid to literally speak to anyone that you know has an opinion. But again, you know, it's got to be the right opinion. We are not here to like slag anyone down. So yeah, please feel free to go onto Instagram and find Jamal Horn there. Thank you so much for everyone that's been tuning in. I'll see you next week.